Hello and welcome to my channel History's Repeating. On this channel I will explain 6 important key points from the year 1500s, and it will show how relevant our past is to our present day. The Renaissance started in the 1500s, and it marked the height of that time period. It was a cultural movement that emphasized humanism, individualism, and classical learning. The values of the Renaissance continue to influence art, literature, and architecture today. The Renaissance was a time of great intellectual and artistic achievement. Artists, writers, and scholars sought to emulate the classical works of ancient Greece and Rome, and they developed new styles and techniques that reflected their admiration for these models. The Renaissance was also a time of great scientific and technological progress, as scholars made important discoveries in fields like mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. The time period for the Renaissance began in Italy and then spread to other parts of Europe. Some of the most famous Renaissance artists and thinkers include Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Niccolò Machiavelli. These individuals made significant contributions to fields such as art, architecture, literature, philosophy, and politics. The Renaissance was also a period of significant change in European society. It marked a transition from the medieval period to the modern era, and it had a profound impact on the course of European history. The values of the Renaissance, such as individualism, humanism, and secularism, continue to shape modern culture and society. The Age of Exploration, also known as the Age of Discovery, was a period of European exploration and discovery that began in the 15th century and lasted until the 17th century. During this time, European explorers set out to discover new trade routes to Asia and the Indies, as well as to explore and colonize new lands. The Age of Exploration was driven by a number of factors, including the desire for wealth and power, the spread of Christianity, and advances in technology such as the compass and the astrolabe. European explorers, such as Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and Ferdinand Magellan, traveled to the Americas, Africa, and Asia, opening up new trade routes and expanding global knowledge. The Age of Exploration had a significant impact on the world. It led to the colonization of the Americas, Africa, and Asia, and the establishment of new trade networks and global relationships. It also brought about the forced migration and enslavement of millions of people, as well as the spread of diseases that devastated indigenous populations. The Reformation was a period of religious upheaval that took place in Europe in the 16th century. It began as a protest against the Catholic Church's corruption, its sale of indulgences, and its practice of granting positions of power and wealth to individuals based on their family connections rather than their merit. The Reformation was sparked by the writings and teachings of figures such as Martin Luther and John Calvin, who called for a return to the pure teachings of the Bible and the elimination of the Catholic Church's hierarchy, which they saw as an obstacle to spiritual enlightenment. The Reformation also saw the rise of new Protestant denominations, such as Lutheranism and Calvinism, which challenged the Catholic Church's authority and promoted the idea of individualism in religion. The Reformation had a significant impact on European society and politics. It led to a divide between Catholic and Protestant countries, and it contributed to religious wars, political conflicts, and social changes. The Reformation also encouraged the spread of education and literacy, as Protestants emphasized the importance of reading the Bible for oneself. The Reformation was also a precursor to the Enlightenment, as it promoted the idea of individualism and the importance of reason and critical thinking in matters of religion and society. Today, the legacy of the Reformation can be seen in the diversity of religious beliefs and practices throughout the world, as well as in the ongoing debates about the role of religion in public life. The printing press was a revolutionary invention that played a significant role in the spread of knowledge and information during the Renaissance and the Reformation. The printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century, and it made it possible to produce books and other printed materials quickly and inexpensively. Before the printing press, books were copied by hand, a time-consuming and expensive process that made books inaccessible to all but the wealthiest individuals. With the printing press, books could be produced in large quantities, making them more affordable and widely available. This led to an explosion of printing and publishing, with books on a wide variety of topics being produced and distributed throughout Europe. The printing press played a key role in the spread of ideas during the Renaissance and the Reformation. It made it possible for scholars and writers to disseminate their ideas and knowledge more widely, leading to a greater exchange of ideas and the development of new fields of study. It also allowed for the publication of religious texts in vernacular languages, making them accessible to a wider audience and contributing to the spread of Protestantism during the Reformation. During the Renaissance period, the invention of the printing press was a major technological advancement that greatly impacted European society. Johannes Gutenberg is credited with the invention of the printing press in the mid-15th century, which revolutionized the way information was disseminated. Prior to the printing press, books and other written material were laboriously copied by hand, making them rare and expensive. The printing press allowed for the mass production of books and pamphlets, making them more affordable and accessible to the general public. This led to a rapid spread of knowledge, which in turn helped to stimulate intellectual and cultural growth across Europe. One of the most significant impacts of the printing press was on religion. The Bible, previously only available in Latin, was translated into various languages and made widely available. This led to an increase in religious literacy and helped to fuel the Protestant Reformation. During the 1500s, scientists like Nicolaus Copernicus and Galileo Galilei made important discoveries that challenged traditional beliefs about the universe and the way it operates. Copernicus proposed that the sun, not the earth, was the center of the solar system, and Galileo used his telescope to observe the moons of Jupiter and the phases of Venus, which supported Copernicus's heliocentric model of the solar system. Since then, scientific research has continued to make significant advances in a wide range of fields like biology, physics, medicine, and technology. Today, scientific research and innovation continue to drive technological progress and shape our understanding of the world. Ongoing research in fields like artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and biotechnology promises to revolutionize many aspects of our lives in the coming decades. The 1500s saw significant political changes in Europe, including the consolidation of nation-states and the emergence of new forms of governance. Some of the key political developments of the period include nation-states, monarchies, colonialism, and religious conflicts. Overall, the political developments of the 1500s reflected a period of significant change and upheaval in Europe, as rulers sought to consolidate power and establish new forms of governance. These developments set the stage for many of the political debates and conflicts that would shape the modern world.